how's it going? I hope that you are all doing super well. I cannot believe we are in March. That is just insane to me. And I always say this every time that we enter a new month or, a month is ending. I'm always saying how crazy it is. I can't believe this month is already over. I can't believe this month has already started, but it's so true. I just cannot believe that it is already March of 2026. So I initially was going to do my annual March 5th video that I've been doing since 2024. Yeah, it's crazy. This would be the third year. And I don't really know what started that, by the way. It's just I made a video of what I did throughout my day on March 5th of 2024, and I didn't know what to call it, so I just entitled the video by its date. And then the next year I was like, oh, I'll just do another video to see how different things are. And so it just kind of caught on. But that was going to be my next video, was my annual March 5th video that I just show clips. It's just literal clips of what I do throughout the day, because it's fun to see how much changes within a year. But anyway, I just wanted to get on here and do a video about what I am wanting out of March. And I've never actually done that before. I've never sat down and thought, or sat down and journaled about what I want out of a month. And I think that's pretty important to do, and that's something that I want to implement for myself. Is before a new month starts, just think about what I want to accomplish, what will kind of, help make things better for me. And I know that can kind of sound selfish at times, is, what's going to work for me, what's best for me, what do I want this month? But it's really important. It's not in a selfish way or, self-serving way at all. I think it's just really important to think what you are wanting, and it's not just for you, it's just so you have a guideline for yourself, and it can just in general make you more pleasant to be around. Because if you have a goal of, I'm not gonna let this affect me, I'm going to be this way, it's not just for you, it will really affect everyone else around you, if that makes sense. So what I'm really aiming for, one of the things that I want to embrace this month is just enjoying the month, because March is one of my favorite months, but I've always in the past found myself in that kind of headspace of, we just went from winter, which winter makes me feel sad, and winter to me is filled with there's upcoming change, the year's about to be over, and December to me is like one of the saddest months, because I'm just already thinking, oh my gosh, I'm getting older, my parents are getting older, another year down, everything's changing. And for me, the month of March really begins the year. And I know that sounds weird, but you're going from that transition time from winter to spring, and that's when everything is changing, and that's new beginnings. And I've always, well, not always, but in recent years, that's just really scared me, because like I said, it's just changes and people getting older, and I always find myself in a funk going from the months of winter into spring. And I want to embrace that this year and this month. I don't want to let that funk really make me get down. I want to really enjoy this month. It's my birthday month, and I've really always liked spring and March, and it's one of my favorite months, and everything that it brings. I want to accept the newness and not be saddened by the thoughts of change and the previous year being over and done with. It's that kind of concept of, I just want to embrace that, yes, change is happening, and yes, I'm getting older, my loved ones, people around me, my parents are getting older, and that's okay, because that's part of life. So literally just embracing this month and just embracing the change is really what I want to do this month. It's my top thing this month, definitely. So the embracing change, that kind of comes along with, like last week I had mentioned that I will see you on March 5th because I do this annual video, and it's weird how it started, but on March 5th of 2024, for whatever reason, I just videoed my day and I clipped it all together and I posted it. It was like my first video to ever post, and I was like, I don't know what to call this video, so I just entitled it March 5th, 2024. And so the next year, I was like, oh my gosh, let me just clip throughout my day and entitle it March 5th, 2025. And so I'm going to do it again this year. And it's just a thing now. March 5th has like no important significance or anything that I'm aware of, but it's just a good way, a good reminder. And it fits perfectly for, what I consider to be really like the fresh start of the year. March is like that month, and so it's a really good reminder to look back and see how much has changed within a year, just taking clips of throughout the day. So I'm really excited to do that video in a few days. My second thing that I really want to get from this new month is just to not worry so much. I do have my moments where I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm nervous. What if, people think this of me? And I think that's everyone to some effect. Even if people tell you that they don't care what people think, I really think that there's just something, even if it's just like a little bit, that we just care what people think. And I feel like as I'm getting older, it's faded, but I can tell it's still there. And I really hate that. I hate that I care so much what someone's going to think of me, or I care so much if I say something stupid and I think about it for the next 5 days. So the second thing that I just really want to let go of this month is just having less worry and less care of how I'm perceived. And while I still want to be the best version of me and enjoy and live my life, I don't want to dwell on a conversation I had with someone for days and think of what I could have said differently. I don't want to wonder if I'm being judged. I just want to fully enjoy myself. That can be hard for everyone, but we're in this together. I just think it's time to just really embrace yourself. And the older that I get, I really want to embrace myself and just become more comfortable with myself. And who cares if someone, thinks something negatively of me? Of course it'll impact me in a way, but I don't want to be dwelling on it forever. There's a huge difference between just letting things go and letting things just stick with you like forever. The last thing is really not as deep, if the others you even consider deep. This one is something that I'm always like, I'm going to give it up. I'm going to be better at it. I'm not going to have one today. And that is my caffeine intake. So for the month of March, I just want to kind of start like weaning myself off of as much caffeine as I intake. And I say that as I'm literally drinking my Dunkin' coffee with caramel sauce and whipped cream. But it is so good. You guys, I love coffee. I love caffeine. I love lattes. I love it all. I love my coffee shops. And I think it's okay to still love it, but in moderation. I should not be having like 3 of these a day. And that's just something that I'm going to implement into my March. And I really feel like that's something that could follow into the rest of my months. Just not being so dependent on caffeine, because there's some days where I am just like, I really need a coffee. I really need my iced latte. And this is my first one of the month. Of course, it is just March 3rd, but this is my first coffee for the month. And I think that that's pretty good. But yeah, that's something I definitely just want to embrace this month, is not being so dependent on this liquid that I love so much. Hey you guys, I hope that you enjoyed my video, and I hope that, you can start doing these monthly things of things that you want to set aside and start for your month. That you, okay, for this month, I'm wanting this for myself, or I'm wanting to gain this. And I would just do a few things. You don't want a whole list of like 10, 20 things. Like my list was literally like 3 things, and I feel like they're super reasonable, and it's not going to set me up for failure. I'll go back to it and think, okay, this is how what I planned out for myself went, now on to the next month. So I think that doing this is going to be super helpful and beneficial to me in the long run. Thank you so much for watching. If you did, I hope that you have a great, great day, and I will see you here on my channel in a few days. Okay? Stay safe and take care of yourself. All right. Bye bye.